Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today we're going to explore all of the amazing ways that you can use your planner to stay organized and get things done. Whether it's monthly, weekly, or daily planning, or even budgeting or goal setting, there's a planner spread for it all. I have used many different types of planners over the last 20 years or about the last 2 decades, because I've been using a planner for a while, or some type of agenda for a very long time. And what I have learned is that it doesn't really matter the type of planner that it is. It really only matters the contents of the planner, specifically the types of spreads or pages and even the types of sections. I'm currently using a digital planner, and I've been digitally planning for several years. I have designed my own digital planner, which I will have linked down below if you want to access it for free. And it wasn't until I got started with digital planning that I learned of the pages that I actually need and want and use. And it really wasn't until I started creating my own digital planners when I came to that conclusion, because there are thousands of digital planners out there that creators create and sell, and a lot of them are very thorough and they include a lot of pages. And what I have found is that there absolutely can be too many pages or sections or spreads within a planner. I mean, realistically, there's only so much we can plan. I'm a pretty planned out and organized girly, but even still, there are limitations to what I plan. I don't need to plan for every single element of my life. Some stuff I have planned out via Google Calendar, so I don't really need to be writing out anything or planning out anything in my actual planner. There are just so many elements of life that I don't actually plan, but there are some that I do actually plan, and I normally am planning for the things, or planning out the things that I might forget, the things that I either want to convert to memory that are extremely important for me to remember, or even like daily to-dos and tasks and things like that. So we're going to talk about all of the pages of a planner that I think are absolutely necessary for me, which might be helpful for you if you are in a place where you don't really know where to go as far as planning. Maybe you're new, maybe you've been trying to try out planning for a while, maybe you've been planning for a long time like me and you're trying to pare down or simplify your planning routine. So we're going to talk about all of those today. Let's go ahead and get into it. First of all, I do want to share with you a few different types of planners. I have a lot of my old planners. I do not throw them away. I do have a couple of planners that are undated and unused that I have been gifted from different companies or whatever. And so I normally save those to re-gift them or to actually use them or for some other reason. So this is what we call a bound planner. So we call it a bound planner because of its binding. It's bound together by usually thread is what binds these types of planners together. And essentially there is no customization to it after you've already gotten it. Some bound planner companies allow you to customize your planner before they create it and send it to you. But a lot of companies don't do that because that's a huge feat. So a lot of planners are just designed how they're designed, and they're sold just like such. So this planner, for all intents and purposes, is not customizable at all as far as the actual pages of the planner. Of course, I can add in different colors and, you know, kind of tweak it to fit my needs and stuff like that. But for the most part, the planner is how it was designed. We also have another type of planner, which is this one. This is a disc bound planner. This means that the pages are bound together by discs. And the cool thing about these is that they are really customizable. Same kind of phenomenon where, yes, there are a lot of inserts that you can purchase for these types of planners to customize it. But if you just walk into a store and buy one of these planners, then that's going to be the planner that you are stuck with. And a lot of the planners may not include inserts or pages that actually fit your needs. Depending on how creative you are, of course, you can always customize it, but what I'm trying to share is that if you walk into a store and just buy the planner as it comes, then that's what you are left with. This is a string bound planner, and with these string bound planners, normally you can buy a bunch of little inserts and notebooks and such to add to the planner. So yes, you can customize it in that way, but how the notebooks come is how the notebooks come. So not a lot of customization there. This is another example of a type of planner. This is what we call a ring bound planner. So there are rings that bind all of the pages together. Now, honestly, these are pretty customizable. You can find inserts from all sorts of different companies that might fit your needs that you can add to your planner. But I think the holdup for a lot of people is that that's a lot of work. These are actually some tabs that I added, but a lot of times you can buy the planner cover with just the planner cover, nothing on the inside, and then you're left to fill the planner with pages that fit your needs. So again, a lot of companies will sell all sorts of different types of inserts for these ring bound planners, but it is quite the task to figure out which types of inserts you want to buy, from what company you want to purchase them. It's just a lot of work, but for all intents and purposes, this is quite customizable. A very popular type of planner is a spiral bound planner. That means that these pages are bound together by a spiral. And these planners are pretty popular. You see these pretty much everywhere, but similarly, if you go into a store and you buy any type of spiral bound planner, the pages or elements of the planner are going to be just that. Moral of the story is that there are so many different types of planners out there that you can purchase, so many different types that you can customize. But in your doing that, I just want to share the spreads or the sections of a planner that I think are super important, particularly to me. And I really kind of think these are the most important spreads or sections for any person out there. So I want to share those with you so that as you go forth on your planner hunting journey, you can find one that best fits your needs, because the best planner for you is the one that you use. So I showed you a bunch of physical planners, a bunch of types of physical planners, and I mentioned to you that I actually use a digital planner and I create my own digital planners. And the reason for that is because I can create my pages to look exactly how I want them to look. They can include the exact elements that I want them to include. I can customize these digital planners to my heart's content. And when I started making digital planners some years ago, I learned that I was doing a little bit too much and I was creating these planners that had too much going on. And over the years, I have simplified my planners and my designing of the planners, and I really feel like I have finally found that sweet spot. So let me walk you through the planning pages that are most important to me. First up, we have monthly planning. I simply cannot exist in any planner without a monthly spread. There must be a page or 2 pages, because oftentimes the monthly spreads are divided amongst 2 pages. I absolutely have to have a monthly spread to exist in this world. It actually baffles me that some people literally don't use their monthly pages. And I'm like, well, how does that work? Obviously, we all plan and organize information and process information differently, but I really just don't know where I would be without a monthly spread. A monthly spread is a great way to get a big picture of everything that you have going on in the month. You can use it to mark important dates such as birthdays and anniversaries and any kind of meetings or trainings or your work schedule or your family members' work schedules or information, important appointment dates. All of that information is what I include on my monthly spread. Next up, we have weekly planning, which I also cannot live without. I have learned. This is where the magic happens. A weekly spread allows you to break down everything from your monthly spread into smaller, more manageable chunks. And for me, I actually typically up the ante a little bit on my week. So I might not put on my monthly spread that I have a package coming on the 10th of the month, but I would likely put that on my weekly spread, or anything that kind of just pops up throughout the week, like any kind of task or event or anything like that. I would just add it to my weekly spread as opposed to going back and adding it to my monthly spread. So I basically just add more information and more details to my weekly spread. On my weekly spread, I normally put in my weekly tasks, which I would not put on my monthly spread. I normally put in all of my weekly events and happenings. I even sometimes like to track my progress towards goals. I even like to use my weekly spread for note taking and other reasons. Let's not forget about daily planning. Daily planning is a huge part of my routine, but I will say I do not feel like I need to daily plan every day. What that means is that there are some days where I feel that I might need a daily plan because the day is a little bit chaotic and I need to try to organize it in my brain and then transfer that into my planner, of course. But that's really few and far between. Honestly, I feel like I don't really use a daily spread nearly as much as I used to. I also mainly use a daily spread at work. I don't really use or do too much daily planning at home. I used to live a life that was a little bit more hectic and chaotic each day, but for now, I'm kind of just chilling and coasting. I don't really do too much from day to day, so I don't really daily plan as much. However, daily pages are great for time blocking. Now let's talk about goal setting. One caveat here is that I am currently in the process where I'm doing a lot of goal setting using Notion, which is also a digital planner. So it's on theme for what I'm talking about today, but it is separate from my actual digital planner, but it's actually separate from what I call my iPad planner. But they're both digital planners. One is just me writing on my iPad like I'm writing in a normal type of planner, and then Notion is, a little bit different. I say all of that to say I absolutely must do goal setting in my planner. If I didn't have Notion, I would need to do that in my iPad planner. I actually do keep track of my goals in my iPad planner, but I feel like it's more so like monthly or weekly or daily goals rather than the information that I put in Notion, which is really long-term goals, yearly goals, goals that I want to accomplish in 2 years, more long-term goals. However, I really enjoy tracking some of my goals in my iPad planner and also tracking my goal progress. So I have a habit tracker that I have created in my digital planner or my iPad planner, and I mark off the habits that I complete each and every day. I think I have like 10 habits that I'm trying to track each month. All of them are on the healthy side of things, like exercising, low carbs, low calorie, reading, etc., etc. And I track those in my planner. A lot of planners actually do include habit trackers. That's been something really popular as of like the last, like 8 years, I feel like. But if your planner does not include a habit tracker or any place for you to track your progress, you can just draw in a habit tracker yourself or just create your own habit tracking page or section. Of course, some people out there don't set goals or they don't really care about them. I'm not that person. I need to be setting goals and to be, I don't know if I need to be setting goals, but I need to be improving always in all areas of life. And one way for me to be able to reflect on my progress or monitor my progress is via goal setting and habit tracking. The key to goal setting is not just to dream big, but to plan, prioritize, and execute. It's also a great way to stay motivated as I'm checking off my habits each day. I mean, it's a great day if I can mark off at least like 7 habits. I'm not going to do 10 or all of them, however many I have every single day, because some of them aren't really even habits that I'm looking to complete every day. So that's pretty unrealistic, but just being able to tick them off is exciting for me and a way for me to, stay excited about meeting my goals and just like an ego boost, I guess. Of course, we have to talk about budgeting because it's funny that I started this channel using a budget planner and I continue to talk about budget planning. It is truly one of my passions and the light of my life. Not so much budgeting, but just being organized. That said, budgeting is a way of organizing your finances and is extremely important to me and has to be included in any planner that I have. Similarly to my long-term goals, my budgeting is currently housed or done in Notion, but if it were not for the advent of Notion and me discovering and enjoying Notion a few years ago, it would be in my planner. When I was using a budgeting planner or when I had the budgeting in my planner, there were 2 spreads really that were extremely important to me. There were a few elements of budgeting that were extremely important to me. One was a place to mark all of my financial tasks, to-dos, bills, and paydays. Obviously, I could do that on the monthly spread. That's the perfect place to keep track of all of your bills and financial tasks, to-dos, and goals. I also needed a place to write out our budget. Just a page, which it could be a blank line page. I needed any blank page to be able to write down our income and write down all of our expenses and just keep track of all of that each month. I also needed a place to track our expenses. I think the most important part of budgeting is tracking your expenses. It is the most daunting task and the most annoying task and the most time consuming task, but it is the most critical, essential, and valuable task to staying on budget and keeping up with your budget. So I definitely needed a page for that as well. All of that is now in Notion, but for years and years and years, when my budgeting was a part of my planner, whether it was my physical planner or my digital / iPad planner, that's where you could find it. Finally, we have creativity. Do not forget that while you're being organized and planning and being, like an organized queen, that planners can also be just like a creative outlet, something that you use or decorate or pretty up that just screams your name whenever you open it. Planners come kind of boring a lot of times, but we are at liberty to put pictures in there. We can put drawings in there. We can doodle in there. We can do all sorts of fun stuff in our planners to make them creative, and that a lot of times will entice people to reference their planner and look at their planners. You can put inspiring images in there. You can create a vision board page or mood board pages. You can add stickers. You can add photos. You can draw. You can scrapbook. You can journal. You can add cute progress trackers for your goals, like your financial goals. You can doodle in there. You can do all sorts of fun things inside of your planner to make it unique to you and make it fun for you. There you have it. Those are all of the pages or elements of a planner that I think are essential. An honorable mention would be notes pages. A lot of planners come with note pages, and I say they are honorable mentions because I often do take notes in my digital planner, like if I'm at a conference or in a meeting or something like that. But the real tea is that I don't really take a whole lot of notes. I really just don't. I don't know. I just feel like that's not something that I really do a whole lot. I'm not a note taker. I do write things down, but I'm not taking a bunch of notes. It's just not something that I do. So many ways to get the most out of your planner, and I personally just believe that those are the planner pages / elements that are essential and key for being successful with utilizing a planner of any capacity. From managing your time to setting big goals, a planner can help you organize your life and stay on top of your priorities. Which planner page or section or element can you not live without? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you're new and if you're liking what you're seeing, and I will catch you guys right back here in a few days in a brand new video. Bye guys.